What's going on, guys? It's Josh and I am back for my next YouTube video. In this video, we are going to cover more in detail what we covered in the last video, what type of lighting I use in my photography. So, from the last video, if you remember, there are two types of lighting in photography. You have your on-camera lighting and you have your off-camera lighting, or on-camera flash, off-camera flash, as some photogs call it. I use both, guys. Okay, you'll have some photographers, and it's preference, that'll tell you on-camera flash is not good and it ruins most of your shots, but I disagree with that, guys. If you know what you're doing with any piece of equipment when it deals with photography, you'll get the final product that you worked for. So, certain situations I use on-camera flash, certain situations I use off-camera flash. Whichever is going to work best, that's what I'll go with that day, guys. So without further ado, I'll introduce you to the on-camera flash that I use first, which is going to be the speed light. Okay, I have two speed lights, guys. The first one is a ES-DDI speed light. I'm not familiar with the brand, don't ask me. Just, you know, when it comes to speed lights, I don't care about the brand because to me they all do the same thing. You just got to know how to diffuse it. So ES-DDI is one of the speed lights that I have in my camera bag that they always go with me to every shoot. And then the other brand is Newer. A lot of you guys will hear Newer. It's a larger brand name in the photography world, and I actually have a couple of umbrellas that are Newer in terms of my off-camera flash. But so the speed light, guys, it goes on top of the camera, hence on-camera flash. Right here is a hot shoe mount. Okay, that goes on to the hot shoe, which I'm getting ready to show you right now, located on the top of most DSLRs, should be every DSLR camera body and mirrorless camera body. So that's a hot shoe. Once you intertwine the two, like so, you screw it down to fasten it, and then you can manipulate your speed light and bounce it off of whatever surface that is available to you on location. So speed lights I typically will use when shooting events, and I typically restrict them to events because there is a lot of movement required. So the wedding photographer always has a speed light. The birthday photographer, the graduation ceremony photographer, they'll always keep speed lights in their bag because you're constantly moving, guys. You're constantly adjusting to the client. The client is not adjusting to you. The client is never adjusting to you, by the way. So that's what I use speed lights for, more so of event photography. And I actually recently shot my wife with a speed light in the house for her, not maternity pictures, but we're doing pictures every 2 weeks of her pregnancy, and I utilized that recently in the house. So that's going to be the speed lights that I use. Speaking of diffusers, guys, I will show you a neat kit that I bought off of Amazon, which is by Godox, another great photography brand, guys. If you're thinking about getting into photography, look into Godox. They make lights, they make triggers, they make everything. Okay, so within this little suitcase here, you're gonna find different ways to diffuse your lighting, okay? This is a dome diffuser. This is my go-to diffuser in terms of speed lights, and I'll show you how it mounts. The other things here, you got a honeycomb, you got a flash bounce in there. I don't use that stuff, guys. This is what I'm concerned about here. So there is a bracket that comes with that kit. I couldn't fit it back into the case, so I left it out. This little thing mounts on more than just a speed light, and you'll see what I'm talking about here in a minute. You connect this to the speed light. Screw it on, it's nice and snug, guys, right? Nice and snug. There are 4 magnets on the back of this dome diffuser. Easy as cake, right? Boom, beautiful. What this dome diffuser does for light is, instead of bouncing it off of a narrow location and then back down narrowly on the subject, guys, it's gonna spread the light. A circle, spheres, right? 360 degrees. It's gonna spread the light completely around the subject. And if you've got multiple subjects, it's even better. This thing right here is a lifesaver in terms of weddings, any event photography you want to do. I mean, even if you're shooting hot, your lighting is going to be almost perfect every time, and I can guarantee it. Again, this is a Godox kit, and I'll attach the link in the description to where I got this from, guys. This is a must-have if you use on-camera flash, okay? So, enough about the on-camera flash. Moving on to off-camera lighting, or off-camera flash, which is the most common and most prevalent flash in photography. Personally, I like to use this one light. I'm going to be adding more to my arsenal because I'm going to eventually need it. But I find that this light allows me to be flexible, and it definitely covers everything that I need. It's powerful enough for my shoots. Now, in terms of adding more than one person, you may need to add one more light to backlight. But if you can time it right and you get out there when the sun is setting or coming up, or golden hour as we call it, you'll be golden with this light. This is going to be the Flashpoint Evolve 200, okay? Flashpoint and Godox both make this light. Now, Flashpoint and Godox both work off of each other. Consider the companies combined. So a Flashpoint trigger will work for a Godox light, vice versa, right? So if you're buying a Flashpoint or Godox, it doesn't matter, it's the same thing, right? Okay, what's in this case? All right, to the good stuff. Okay, this is your Flashpoint Evolve 200 TTL pocket flash is what they consider it. Now, if you notice, in comparison with the speed light, it is almost simultaneous in size, guys. So in terms of mobility, you can't beat this, okay? 200 watts, right? It gets the job done, trust me. This light has done me justice in many shoots, especially outdoor scenic shoots. When you're going to need off-camera flash, this is the light to go to. It comes with 2 flash heads, guys. The flash head that actually comes on the light when you pull it out of the pack is going to be the square flash tube flash head. Okay, your traditional looks just like a speed light, if you catch that. The second flash head that comes with it is going to be more of a mono lamp type mono head, literally like a bulb, guys. I more often use this, and it may or may not, but for some reason it is my belief that this light gives more power or output when I use that. And you know, your lighting is going to be dictated by what you use to diffuse it again. And I'll go into the big diffusers that I use in terms of off-camera flash in another video. But off-camera flash is going to be that Evolve 200. This is my go-to, guys. This is, every photographer that I know owns this, or 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 of them, because you can combine these lights and you can make magic. Again, it's 200 watts, so if you got 2, you got 400. If you got 3, you got 6, right? So it's definitely not a bank breaker. It's not going to hurt your pockets to get this light. This is the first light you should get if you're considering off-camera flash and learning how to do it. This is the light for you. And I'll put the link in the description below the video. One more thing before we wrap up is going to be the trigger that I use for my off-camera lighting and TTL lights is the Flashpoint R2 trigger. Okay, guys, this thing is amazing. Here's the screen in the back. It pretty much mimics the screen that you have on the back of your Evolve. So it's this is a great trigger. It's not gonna break your pockets either. It's definitely very affordable for a beginning photographer that is looking to jump into off-camera flash. So definitely look into this. I'm gonna put this link in the description below as well. Guys, definitely check out everything that I mentioned in this video. And that's about it. Oh, the trigger mounts just like the speed light will mount with the hot shoe mount again on the trigger. It'll slide promptly on top of the camera as such, and that is how it looks. And it will remotely trigger any off-camera flash that is Flashpoint or Godox brand with this specific trigger. They have different brand triggers for different brand flashes, and you can look into all of that doing your research. Now, that's it for this video, guys. I know it was a quick one. Be sure to check out my Instagram as always. I'll tag it here. And be sure to check out the website. Make sure you guys are staying safe during this pandemic, okay? You see I got the shaved face. I'm essential. They made me shave for the mask. So be sure to take care of yourselves and your families during this time. And we can't wait to work with you guys when this is all over. Until next time.